Dantian breathing. So let me talk about that for a little while, the Dantian breathing. So first of all, everybody understands where your perineum is. Perineum is the anus, right? Sphincter muscle. So that's you think of that. That's your root. That's your root chakra area. So you're actually pulling, you're squeezing that muscle up. And I've had things where it's a little bit more forceful, but for what we want to do is like gently squeeze that muscle. So even just sitting here, whether you're sitting or standing, you just think of the perineum and you think of squeezing it, and then you'll kind of feel it activate. And at the minimum, that's enough. But you really don't want much more than that. You just want to think of it squeezing and just pulling it up a little bit and holding it. But when you hold it, be careful that you're not holding this tension, you're not holding the breath. So you want to practice just activating that muscle and breathing, right? So activating that muscle with the breath in. And that's the first step. So to that visualization, you can imagine as you're squeezing the perineum, you add that little light, that light of energy rising up through the spine, the central channel, and just rising to the top of the head. Okay? So these are all just kind of general, safe ways to do this. And you start by that till you get used to just activating the perineum, having it rise, and learning to relax. Because probably as you're doing it right now, you can feel this tension coming up. So learning to just gently think about it. And that's why Dr. Lam will say, or that's why I assume he'll say, just think about it. He's not there to guide everybody step by step. So just think about it and just let it slowly come out. When we do it with standing motions, he'll talk about doing that Dantian breathing on this follow step. So you're doing a move, the back leg does a follow step, the heel touches down, and right as the heel touches down, he'll say, do the Dantian breathing right there. So as the heel's touching down, you gently squeezing the perineum, right? Breathing in, having that column of energy rise. And he doesn't even talk about, actually in the program, that energy rising or the white light. Right? He'll just say, squeeze the perineum. But you can imagine it rising, right? And he'll say, just hold it, just enjoy that for a little while. And when you're holding it and enjoying it, don't lock the breath. So it might come out of the brush knee, right? You come in here, right? That heel touches down, and right there, gently squeezing the perineum. That breath is rising, that light is rising, and then exhale, then let it go. Okay? So when you hold that, it's not locking, it's just kind of drawing out that breathing. So in that stepping, it's step forward, follow step, right as the heel touches down, sinking. My weight is on the front leg, the back heel touches down, and as the weight sinks, I start gently squeezing the perineum. I'm breathing in, and then relax. And then the next move, whatever the next move. Okay? So, starting to inhale, gently squeezing, that column is rising, and then finish. So you're drawing out that breath. And it's a very energetic breath. So you can do this Dantian breathing standing. You can do it with the movement. Right? You could do it just sitting here, 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 right? Here, here, whatever mudras. You could do it while you're doing the open and close. It's an excellent place to do the Dantian breathing. This is probably, just doing this is a pretty strong Qigong, right? Close to you. And shoulder blades, so pull your shoulder blades back a little and the shoulder blades expand. The palms are light, the fingertips are stretched. consciously move the belly button, right? So the lower belly expands and contracts as you breathe in. This is relaxed. I'm telling you a lot of different elements to do it. But while you're doing the Tantin breathing, while you're doing the open and close, that's a nice place to do the Tantin breathing. Slowly breathing in, squeezing the perineum, and then relaxing. So between your palms, you're trying to get that magnetic feeling. Right? You want your arms down. Right? You don't want to be lifting this up. And you want to move your shoulder blades, just stretching the palms. So I'm trying to listen to and see if you can have that magnetic feeling where they're repulsing. Right? When the hands come together, you can feel that compression. As you're breathing in and the hands separate, it feels like they're being pushed apart. And when you're trying to bring them together, it feels that compression. Sometimes if you just focus on that magnetic palm, your hands will only move about this much. You'll feel like, oh, they can't, there's so much compression. And that's when you let everything go, no tension, and you're just using your mind and just using your breath. And then you add that Tantin breathing to it. So if you do the open and close with this Tantin breathing, like I said, that's a pretty good practice. Yeah, and if you add the light rising to the top, right? Don't seal the top, just let it rise and then sink. And then you could imagine it spiraling if you want. Right? You can add spiraling. You just add one thing at a time. Right? It could be a white light or whatever color comes to your mind. Don't force that color. If something else comes, you could imagine a little flame. It could be like a little flicker of a flame, and that flame is rising and then relaxing and coming down. I did it this past Tuesday, and I remind you to think of the sun in your chest. Right? Think of the sun in the chest, warm and cool, just radiating energy out, connected to the sun in the sky. And this one Tuesday student told me, he was imagining, he said, when that white light came up, I didn't realize he was holding that sun in the chest. He said, when it intersected that sun, he said, it's like the sun, that energy just kind of exploded outwards, yeah, and then came down, and not in a bad way. That was just that energy intersecting and rising, and just boom, it came down. And coming down, so depending on what you're doing, but just overlay one thing at a time. Okay? The slower you do the breath, right, that's the holding. So instead of trying to lock and stop the breath, as you breathe slower, that takes the place of like clamping it down. Just let it, at the top, don't shut it off, right? It just kind of glows, and let it rise and then let it sink back down. So that's the Tantin breathing. And then you can add it to other movements, in and out movements. So it could be from here, right? It could be just doing the hands of Brashni. Right? Breathing in, gently squeezing the perineum and letting it go. What else? If we did this movement, breathing in, gently squeezing the perineum and then letting it go, single whip. Right? So wherever you're breathing in, wherever you find that breath breathing in, you just consciously think of squeezing the perineum, letting it rise from there. So that's internal, right? So that would be what we would call Neigong, right? Much more internal. Neigong. Yeah. So Qigong is the general practice. Neigong is the very internal practice from there. So, anybody have any questions? Yeah, you just have to experiment and try it. And yeah, sometimes you do it, you really get into doing it. You might, if you close your eyes, you might see like lights going off. Yeah. That's just energy. Anytime you see those little lights flashing in your head or in front of your eyes, or like like once in a while, I'll see a little blue LED light just go poop, just blink. Okay.
Maybe.
Yes. Come and sit down. Oh,
You know, I still don't catch what you were saying, but I feel that when I try to do the Dantian thing, it's just that I feel my stomach muscle is contracting. Am I doing it right?
Oh yeah. So don't worry too much. You just want to relax your stomach, relax your lower belly, and it's right. Your perineum is down here, your stomach is here, right? So it's trying to relax the stomach and trying to focus only on the perineum, and that's what I was saying, right? When you're trying to focus on the perineum, but you can feel the whole body. Yeah. So.
Yes.
And that's where Dr. Lam will say, start off by just thinking of it happening. Just think of the perineum squeezing. So don't physically force that squeeze, right? You're holding the perineum, just think about it, and then you'll slowly feel it kind of activate a little bit. And that's the beginning. Yeah.
That's what I've been doing. I kind of like try to do what you're saying with my stomach, and then I feel like it's like compressing.
Yeah, it might that because the muscles activate, they follow you. So you just have to lower your mind down, right? So, right, perineum is your anus again, right? Well, come and sit down. We'll find it later. Okay. So, in fact, I know where it is. It's right under there, so it's okay. So, yeah. So when you feel the stomach tighten, right? You're trying to do the Dantian breathing. You feel the stomach tighten. That's really telling you, oh, you have to practice relaxing the stomach. So maybe take some time and just take a little bit of time to just breathe and just let the lower belly naturally expand and contract, and then add the Dantian breathing. Just the thought of it happening. Yeah. So that you can start to relax the lower belly. And then as the lower belly relaxes and you can kind of feel the perineum activate, then you can squeeze a little bit. You don't need much. Yeah, you don't need much. This program, everything needs to be safe, right? We're not, you don't have an instructor, somebody right there with you, especially we do this on Zoom. So we need to keep things as simple as possible, simple and safe as possible. Once you can activate it and relax and everything, then you can practice squeezing a little bit more. Just a little bit more. But no matter what, in Qigong, everything starts with the E. So everything starts with thinking about it and then feeling it follow that thought. So being more physical doesn't change the order of how we do it. Yeah. It just means we can make it a little bit bigger, yeah, a little bit stronger and things. But yeah, always ask, always ask. Yeah, we never want to lock things down. And if you read and you really study, right, you'll see methods where they hold breath, they tighten the muscles, but you need somebody to direct you. You need somebody to help you with those kinds of much stronger directed practices. Otherwise, you'll hurt yourself. Even Tai Chi masters, right? If they're not doing the breathing correctly, they're still can be injuring their internal organs. Martial artists who just love, just really hard, or they tighten the breath a lot. When they do that kind of things, right? If they're not paying attention, you're focusing the energy in the upper body, and they could just be pounding certain organs with energy. So if they're not doing things to let it go and flow and relax that, right, then that's all they're doing, right? It's like people who only punch it. They want to punch the tree, they want to get their hands tough, and they start punching metal, but they don't build up to it. So they're compressing and killing the bone instead of letting the bone grow. Right? So when we do the Qigong, we want to flow. Imagine the Qi flowing in the bone, stimulating the bone marrow. We want to send the blood through. We want to stimulate, and we want the bone to grow and get denser and denser, and we want it to be alive. Otherwise, It's like hitting 40, 50, 60 and the hands don't work anymore. The joints don't work. So they're tough, but yeah, they don't have that's actual same mobility. Those kind of guys, they're really tough, but you shake their hands, they cannot squeeze your hand. Yeah. So like my teacher would say, you know, why do you want your hands to be ugly? So you do training where it's natural. You know, every day he slapped the door as he went through the swinging door. Every day picked up the pencil, right? You build your training all into that. And then there's medicine and there's ways to do it. He said, why do you want bruises? Why do you want all that calluses and stuff on the hand? Yeah, so there's training that you can be very tough and very strong and don't have to have that type. It's amazing. Qigong masters, their skin is nice, beautiful, soft, but you can see the development. And then if they flex, like, oh. Yeah. Yeah. You're trying to show off there. Okay, so let's see, what were we doing? Let's go right into the walking today. So we'll take time. So you can go open hand, right? You can imagine you're holding the ball, or you can have a stick you're holding, or you can have a ball. Where's the playground ball? Oh, what happened to lost everything here. Here. Oh yeah. Oh, I just knocked my fan down. That's okay. Certain things you knock down, you don't have to pick it up right away, right? It's just, it's just there. Okay, so this is nice because it's, these are those little cheap plastic ones. So it's large, but it's light. So.
But you don't need the diameter kind of stuff.
Yeah, what happened to all the normal ones? So we're integrating the walking with the rolling movement, right? The rolling movement is going in one direction. And again, you're holding lightly, just stretching the fingers, the fingertips and the palms. Shoulders down, elbows down. Right? Don't let the elbows flare when you do this. Right? Keep the shoulder blades down, the elbows down. And as you come out, you want to, right over here, you want to feel that stretch and expansion all the way down. Let it drop all the way down and then rolling into the body. So if you imagine you're holding a ball of energy, right here, you can imagine it's coming inside the body, then out through the throat and the mouth, and stretching and expanding. So you want to feel that connection there the whole time. And then we just reverse it. So in this one, you're just going one way, and then you're going the other way. So just looking at the hands first, upper body. And as you reverse it, right, you're going to relax, and then there's actually a little circle to reverse. So if we're coming out, and get a little closer, right? If we're coming out, if it were a really strict track, I would stop, and then I would just reverse it. Right? I would just stop and reverse it. But that's not what we want. When we reverse, we want a little circle going on here. Okay, so if I'm coming forward, and then I want to reverse it, I'll drop down a little bit and then come back out, right? And then reverse. Okay, so do that again. So I'm coming forward and I want to reverse it. So I'm going to come down, it drops down and in, right? I'm starting to make a small circle in, and then it drops down and out. So there's that small circle right there, right? So again, come out, and right here starts coming in, and then circles. So you see this little S shape going on. So out, and then a little S, and drop down, and then it reverses. Okay. So one more time, that little S shape, we'll make it a little bit bigger, drops down, and then right here it curves, and then it comes up. Okay. So that's part of, oh, bye Marian, have a good time, we'll see you in a few classes. Be safe, enjoy yourself. Thank you for joining us. Yeah. So it's this constant figure eight, right? It's this constant figure eight that's flowing, and because of the figure eight, you can reverse the directions, right? I could create circles here, or I could come back, or I could reverse and reverse here. Yeah? So you're going one way, and then you're going the other way. But it doesn't just stay on this perfect circle, right? It's not just whipping around on this track. There's a little loop. Right? There's a little figure eight loop that comes out. Right? So again, so if I come here, right, it kind of S shapes. Right? Come here, just kind of S shapes, and then it reverses. The same thing going the other direction. I'm going to come in, it's going to drop down, and then I'm going to reverse. So here, it's going to come in, and then I'm going to reverse. Yeah. And then I'm going to reverse. So circles, as you get it, then you'll see the circles in circles. So if I do one, I'll just do kind of stepping in place. Right? 1, 2, 3, and then let it curve in, and then lift, right? And then reversing it. 1, 2, and I'm coming up to me, 3, and then just let it drop, and then reverse. 1, 2, 3, and then let it drop, and then reverse. 1, 2, 3, and then let it drop, and then reverse. 1, 2, 3, let it drop, and then lift and reverse. Okay, so you just do that on and on, and then to switch the feet. Right, so one, right? I want to make sure I drop all my weight here. Right, I want 100% 0, and then shift 100% and 0. Don't anticipate. Don't step and be anticipating shifting already. Right, finish the move, and then finish the move, feel yourself sink. So to switch legs, as you're coming up, just step back and shift your weight, and then step forward. Right, so it's always so hard on camera to get the right one. Oh, I have to make sure I'm on my phone, right? I'm doing this. So step back, and then turn towards that back leg, and then step forward, right? And then turn. So this leg will step back, and then turn and step. Okay, so just to switch legs, step back, turn, and step. So if I face front to you, step back, and then I'm going to turn towards that leg, and then step forward, and finish the movement, step back, and turn. So you can see I'm actually already turning as I step. Already turning already. And already turning. Yeah. So just walking in place, right? Just stepping up and down, and then adding the rolling to it. So you can practice the rolling, and then you can practice the stepping separately, and then slowly start to add those changes. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to do the change of circle when I change my feet. 2, 3, so I'm going to step back, and then I'll change the circle. 1, I'll finish the move. I have to remind myself to finish the move. 2, 3, I'm going to step back, and I'm going to change the circle. 1, 2. See how I pick up my leg to help me finish shifting. 3. I'm going to step back, and then I'm going to change the direction of the circle. So I want to just kind of pick my leg up, pick my knee up. So pick my knee up and sink. So pick my knee up, sink on the back leg. Pick my knee up and sink on the front leg, on the standing leg. And then another thing that you can practice is whatever the standing leg is, right? The bottom of the feet, it spreads out, relax, totally relax the bottom of the feet. It's not an easy thing to do. Yeah. But if you can learn to totally relax the bottom of the feet and keep the sternum up, I think you'll find that your balance will be better. So as you do this, as you switch your feet, it's really like dancing. If you've done ballroom dancing type of things, you're constantly moving the feet. You don't just switch directions, but you're dancing and stepping through the direction, through the switches, through the transitions. So today practicing stepping in place, right? One direction, and practicing changing the direction of the rolling with the hands. Hey, come on. So once you get that down, right, then you don't want to just stay in one place. If you're locked in a closet and you have to train, that's all you can do. But then you want to practice stepping up, right? And just break that apart, stepping up. Right? And then just step up. And just keep going until you can step, 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 step. Okay? And then also practice walking backwards. Walking backwards psychologically is always different. It feels physically different, but it's a lot of the psychology, right? You're going backwards, it's like unknown. But if you're doing it in a safe place, that's where you get used to teaching yourself this. Right? You really have to sink on that standing leg, and then the leg going back just swings from the hip. And you don't take a big step. Right? Just a small step, find the ground, and then shift. Right? Just flex, just swing from the hip, find the ground. Right? Just take small steps, find the ground, and then sink, finish, and then release that leg. Okay? So, and then from walking in a straight line, right, we can walk curved. Right? So if I wanted to walk in a circle, oh, that would be so bad if you tripped over the ball and fell on camera here. Like, oh, goodness. Right? So to walk in a circle, that means I'm just turning my waist, right, as I'm walking. And you could just practice turning your waist like this. Walking in place, right? Turn my waist, turning my waist, turning my waist. Every time I pick up my foot, I'm turning my waist. Turning my waist, turning my waist, turning my waist. So I'm walking in place, but I'm moving in a circle. Right? So if I stepped up and turned, right, then I'd be walking in a circle. Right? So to learn how to walk in a circle, as you turn and pick up your leg, so as you turn, my knee follows the direction. And when I step out, right, I finish that turn. So now I'm facing here. So if I want to turn to my right, as I pick up my leg, I'm going to turn my waist and just naturally step in that direction. And as I release my back leg, I keep on turning. And so now I'm facing this way. So I pick up my leg and turn, step in that direction, keep on turning, and let this back leg follow. You release all that tension. So when you turn, you have some tension in your legs. So you pick up the leg, you let that go, let that follow. So again, rolling one direction, then learning to switch the other direction. Switching legs. Switching direction. Switching direction. So as you get used to it, you just make it free, right? You break away from, oh, have to do it 3 times, have to do only the leg, have to do only the arm, have to go only straight. So, you know, that's the funny thing, right? As a beginners, you ask the teacher, can I turn? And then our classes are relaxed, right? So my answers are, I don't know, can you turn? Can I step with my left leg? I don't know, can you step with your left leg? Can I step back? What if I step back? I don't know, can you step back? So it's open-ended, right? Like I said, we're not doing competition, we're not doing demonstrations where we all have to move exactly together. In this kind of classes, you learn all the different skills, you create your own little exercises and drills, right? 3 is a nice number, but whatever is comfortable. Do one thing at a time, add the next thing. And then try to break away from it. And if you have a hard time when you do the free form, then you have to come back to the structured, because that means you haven't got in just that one skill first. Yeah. Okay. So again, stepping back to exchange and turning the body. Turning the body. And then the other thing we talked about today was the Tantin breathing. So once you get the physical movement, slow it down, right? You could practice the Tantin breathing. Let it go. Practice the Tantin breathing, breathing in. Let it go. Wherever you're breathing in. Just that slow thing, and you have to isolate out everything, isolate every movement. So if you have a big area, you could practice walking all over. Do you have to walk only in a circle? I don't know. Do you have to walk only in a circle? You can walk figure 8, you can walk zigzag. Whatever you're trying to do more therapy, can I put the resistance band, the elastic band around my leg and do the exercise? I don't know. Can you put the elastic band around your leg and do the exercise? Of course, right? But if I put resistance band, right, that's pulling my leg in, then I have to really look at the therapy I'm doing, right? I cannot be sloppy about letting the knee come in and out. I cannot have too much resistance. Right? Since I'm talking about it, let's see, let's find my lightest one. So, you know, in my own little career, I went from lifting heavy weights. 35 years ago, I was powerlifting, maybe 35 years, maybe longer. And then now I'm using resistance bands. So I want to just keep enough tension on that's comfortable, right? I want to keep my knees aligned, keep everything aligned. And just carefully keeping that light stretch. So I add a little bit of resistance. I can feel my upper body wanting to tense. So first thing is learning to do that and relaxing the upper body, right? Letting that go. And then I could add the roll. So I'm challenging the muscles a little bit more, right? Holding that with a little bit of resistance, trying to get some correction. So always these things, take your time, start off small and then add. I have 3 of elastic bands, right? So light, medium, and light, medium, what do they call it? I don't know, tough. I don't use the hard one. Yeah, right now light, medium is a lot because I also want the repetitions more than a few. Okay. All right, so loosen everything up. And right at about 11:35, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Okay, so simple drill. Don't forget, keep the sternum pointed up. Right, so as you're doing this, take some time. Say, oh, it's the sternum. The sternum is that breastplate, right over here where the ribs attach to. Yeah. So just tilt the sternum up. Just think of that. Just point the sternum up. And that just from hunching, sternum up, and shoulder blades. Pull the shoulder blades back a little bit. Yeah, you just keep on the mind there. Right, top of the head suspended. Tuck the chin down and pull the head back a little bit, and relax the hips. So as we align, we tend to tense. So yeah, it's wow. If you can be like a rag doll consciously, that's really good. I cannot. I'm trying to, but I don't realize how much what we call guarding the muscle, holding the muscle. Okay, so yeah, any questions? Let me know. You can write to me, or we can talk at the end of class. But yeah, we need to end for today. We'll end with the bell meditation. A little bit first. And then I need to go hang my laundry. All right, hands up. Just smile to yourself as you come up. Breathe in, sink the air down, but loosen all the joints. Let your whole body expand by relaxing everything. Just allow everything to stretch and expand and loosen. You can wiggle a little bit. Expand the lower belly. For today, you can put your palms on the lap, palms facing up, or you could put them over your dantian if you want. Put it over your dantian, relax your shoulders, relax your elbows. Whichever one you feel more comfortable with. Gently close your eyes. Think of that little white light or that little flame in your lower dantian. Just gently glowing. Think of the sun in your chest, warm and cool, just gently glowing, connected to the sun in the sky. Relax all your facial muscles, your forehead, the bridge of your nose coming down the side to your cheeks. Just feel it dropping. Feel the jaws dropping. Feel the shoulders dropping. All the time the lower belly expands easily and contracts. Keep the spine expanded. Any distractions, acknowledge it and bring yourself back to your breath. open your eyes, rub your hands together, relax the legs. Oh, I found a nice, I may have come across it before, but I found a nice little YouTube channel. I haven't really explored it. It's this gal, I can't even remember her name now. And she does a lot of these crystal bowls and singing bowls, frequencies. I'm looking at her site. She said she has a lot of guided meditations. She has a free, you can sign up, she has a free 3-day meditation. And I think it's just a link to some practices. Yeah, so, but it sounds really nice. I haven't really explored it enough yet, but what I did looks really nice. I'll send that out. Let's see, maybe I can. Oh, let's end class first. Oh, Miss Chin, come and sit down. Let's end class. Come over here so you can see you. Bring your chair closer. Yeah, bring the hands up. And down, relax the spine, relax all the joints. Just think of gentle expansion, smiling. Think of that nice light in your body, everything open. That energy might be calm or might be spiraling or swirling. Just smile to yourself. Palms together. Your right hand, left hand. Yeah. Okay, so you can finish up these normal things we do. Yeah, just gotta do that. At least do the cupping. I'm gonna turn off my phone.